At midnight on New Year's Eve, the SS Poseidon, caught in a violent Mediterranean storm, is struck by a 90-foot tidal wave and capsized. Now, the story of the ill-fated ship is the subject of a new Warner Brothers film, Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. During the next half hour, we will join Michael Caine, Sally Field, Telly Savalas, Peter Boyle, Jack Warden, Shirley Knight, Slim Pickens, Mark Harmon, Angela Cartwright, Shirley Jones, Carl Malden, producer-director Irwin Allen, and hundreds of technicians and craftspeople as they attempt a nearly impossible task: to film a huge adventure story in an upside-down ship under the water. We will accompany this team of experts as they work their way from production meetings to actual location shooting, from script to sketches, from models to reality, and from studio sound stages to filming at sea, for the toughest challenge ever to face a movie crew as we go behind the scenes beyond the Poseidon Adventure. The movie begins 5 hours after the initial rescue efforts have been completed, when a small salvage tug approaches the capsized vessel. Aboard the tug, Michael Caine, Sally Field, and Carl Malden.
The character I play is a very, very tough, hard captain of a salvage tug who comes upon the upturned, empty Poseidon hulk. He goes aboard to try and find the purser's office and salvage any valuables that were left there in the safe deposit boxes.
And then it starts. They come upon other passengers that have not escaped in the first Poseidon.
Poseidon's got to do something. We just can't sit around. Look, she's alive. I know it. I can feel it. Fine, then you tell us where she is, and we'll all go and look for her.
Well, the guy I play is he runs a bar and grill in New Jersey, and he's sort of a tough guy, but he's a little hysterical. And he's very determined to try and find his daughter.
I play Teresa Mazzetti, Peter Boyle's daughter. And I'm, under unfortunate circumstances, I'm caught in an elevator when the ship turns upside down.
I'm one of the survivors. I'm a blind rider, so it's rather difficult for me to get around in a ship that's capsized.
I play the wife of Jack Warden, and we are famous writers.
But right now I can't find any clever words to say to you. To thank you for those many years of sacrifices.
There's another group of salvage guys led by Telly Savalas who are up to no good.
The truth is, I came aboard this ship with a purer motive than Captain Turner. To recover a piece of property which was already mine.
Okay, open it. Let's see.
You open that barrel, Captain, and we all die.
During the course of this, the ship moves, turns the set over on one side, and then everything starts to explode and catches fire. Coming into a set like this is rather frightening. The set is on rockers and will rock, and it's wet at the same time, so it's very slippery. I think it's best when you do films with a lot of special effects and a lot of stunts in, to have a sort of built-in yellow streak. I mean, even if you do the stunt, is to figure it out very, very carefully first of all, and I immediately look at any special effect or stunt with regards to what can go wrong with it.
We're put in, circumstances that I guess, could be dangerous, but there are people that really look out for you, It's adventurous.
We get shook around pretty good and bruised up pretty good.
It's quite rambunctious because really the action is the main element of the film.
Acting as producer-director of the film is Irwin Allen, the man responsible for a series of box-office blockbusters, including the original Poseidon Adventure and the towering Inferno.
I hate to have to loop this because it's too good.
He's a very patient man, and he definitely has the actor's interest at heart. We sit and discuss major scenes before we ever go in front of the camera, before we ever walk through.
Irwin is a remarkable character. He's the most efficient man I've ever met. He's always got everything worked out.
He's a very thorough man. He knows what he wants. He has it all planned out. He lets everybody know what's going on and what to expect. And he's a very nice man to work for. First time in the 29 years that I've been in the picture business that I had a parking place with my name on it. And Irwin's the one that got that. Yeah.
Well, I've been with Irwin Allen for 22 years, which is quite a long time. Here's a feel for action.
All right, positions. Now you'll automatically get under that catwalk because the debris will be coming down. But for the sake of timing and so that everybody knows the gun will go off. So now we go. All fires up, steam up, whatever you're going to do. Now. Rolling. B camera mark. And action.
But it all begins on paper.
You never really finish writing a script. Scripts go on and on and on right until the last day of photography. And from the script we make our sketches, and then we get ideas and we rewrite part of the script. And from the sketches we make our models, and from the models we build our sets. And this is a continuous progression of script to drawings, to models, to sets, and then all over again until everything seems to jive and work together. We may very well be the last production company in the business that insists on being able to afford doing that.
Thousands of gallons of paint, tons of steel, and many weeks later, the sets are ready for their debut.
Down, and we're going to see water. Yeah, we're literally going to see water there. This is the hole from the purser's office which we just left. The safe has crashed through. The safe is here. Bottles are broken because there are all kinds of cases all around. I am the camera. Bang! That whole wall goes, see, and inundates the camera. We'll use an underwater camera if you want to. I'll give you a lot of fire. I'm crazy about fire. Remember me? Now, do we dare put principles on there? And how safe is that going to be? We could have safety wires on almost all of them.
And the set is 60 feet high, and upside down. Everything, including stairs, ladders, everything is upside down.
I think they're remarkable. I saw all the models, and it's quite an achievement, really.
Working closely with Irwin Allen is the film's art director, Preston Ames.
And I suddenly found myself with a man who was a very togetherness kind of a person, who felt that he and the art director should work very closely hand in glove, which made it an interesting kind of a challenge to do the thing properly. He likes drawings, sketches, models, any concept that he has. He has a great word that he loves to use, which is movie magic, which is how is it done, how is it photographed.
All right, so there's a camera here, there's a camera here, and this camera below is the camera that's going to get scene number 40. Please look at scene number 40. The dialogue with Frank, his insistence on finding the daughter.
Look, forget the purser's office. I gotta find my kid.
Now Frank starts to move. Arbitrarily, the editor will intercut the door, which is going to burst open. He's going to open that damn door. He's going to step. He's going to be grabbed. He's going to let out a scream. Maybe we never shut the door, see? We're not dealing with...
Mr. Allen likes things to be discussed.
Where is the hole? From where to where?
Don't forget, you always have a handrail here.
Yeah.
And you're leaping about that, not much more.
Is it from
and
there
I think
to
your
there?
hole is about here.
Oh, all right.
So you do have an
okay.
extra step going forward.
All right,
here.
fine, because, you know, again, they're not jumpers, and we're going to have to make a jump.
You know, I have the shortest legs of any of us.
Shut up and come out.
Okay, here I come. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Oh!
They come in through the air duct. They're in the gymnasium. They play the scene in here.
Where are we? It's the gym.
Now, I want to ask the other question. This is not the ladder where one of Suevo's men starts to fall, is it?
Yes, sir.
So he gets hit by something which is
falls
a
out.
forewarning of this whole structure coming down. Okay, so you got to give me a floor, you got to put the hole back up here, you got to give me the longest walk possible, and you got to find a way to light it. Other than that, we have no problems.
One of the most intricate sets constructed for the film is the desalinization room.
And is upside down, soaking wet, and we have to climb the 60 or 70 feet upside down broken staircases to get to the top.
I've never been in an upside down room before, but I think I just said, oh, it's upside down, and just went on.
And then we have to climb up to the top. It's very difficult to do, though.
There's a lot of climbing and crawling. It's tricky.
Like the women here, they're going to be able to do it? Once this car is pulled out of the way, whether we take and physically pull the car from the front away, so to give them more room back there. But I don't think we ought to do it in the master. We'll go as far as we can. If he feels that he can do it in the master, we'll let him try to do it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, final makeup all done. Last call.
Now, you might sneak a little piece here. I'm going to start there. Yeah, let it break and then just come over there. And Michael Caine is going to walk into this section, and he's simply going to say, that porthole is going to go.
All right, let's roll.
Over here.
Camera marker. Camera mark.
Okay.
All right.
Camera mark.
That porthole's gonna go at any moment. Gotta find another way out of here. And right now.
And having said that, bang, it goes.
Great.
Their first experience of filming under the hazardous pressure of millions of gallons of water is difficult enough. But for the most dangerous sequence in the picture, the entire cast and crew must go under the water.
None of us have ever scubaed before, so we have to learn to do that. But then we do the whole thing, 3 people to 1 tank and 1 mouthpiece, which is called buddy breathing. And so we've got to learn to do that too. And I said, well, where's my scuba? He said, oh, well, you don't have one. You've got to hold your breath. And so half of us hold our breath and the other half swim with scuba. It's pretty difficult. Some of it is very dangerous too.
They took us into a tank and showed us how it was done, because we have to breathe between 3 people and 4 people with 1 tank. And that was the first time I'd ever done it before.
To be in 10 feet of water and be weighted down, and then to have to remove the mouthpiece for 2 other people to breathe, it was a little bit panicky.
I never could figure out whether I was supposed to breathe air or water, and most of the time it seemed like it was water. Cowboys aren't famous for being swimmers.
They said to me, he said, you dive in the water and everyone dives in, and then you swim under and come up the other side.
Let me just take another look, because I can't see.
We have a scene where we go into the water inside the Poseidon while it's sinking, and swim out and come up outside it with scuba equipment. 3 of you breathe off 1 mask, passing it round and holding your breath underwater and swimming at the same time. It's not easy, but it does make you very close friends with the people you're doing it with. And it also gives you their cold if one of them happens to have one.
Shooting on a soundstage is difficult. Working underwater is very difficult. But the ultimate challenge is yet to come. Shooting at sea.
Tell Mr. Allen we're on our way, over. Seaplane 1 to Poseidon Bay, CTA 10 minutes. Can you give us surface conditions, please, over?
Seaplane 1, this is Poseidon Base. We've got waves of about 2 feet from the northwest. Winds about 10 knots coming out of the northwest. You shouldn't have any trouble landing.
The amount of ship that's out of water is like 270 feet. And that was a very, very difficult piece of steel construction that again had to be designed and studied and engineered. And on top of that, we had to make sure that we could float the damn thing, sink it down into the water because we built it out of the water about 4 feet.
We should get everything we can get, go for everything, right there on the real ocean, on the real boat, and attempt to shoot it there. But what I'd love to get is a fairly long shot of the boat coming right to Suevo's guns. And as it's coming, you see bang, 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 bang. The second round of bullets might smash the glass and he drops. I think there's nothing that tops reality. So being out here, being on the sea itself, is the place to be if you're going to do a story about the sea.
25 miles off the California coast, the filmmakers find that reality has its price.
Catalina King, get a boat to get Carl.
We need a boat to get Carl, Michael, and Sally from the Catalina King to the
right
house.
away. Mr. Allen needs them right away. Does anybody know where the spare
camera
generator is?
to the left.
Hello, anybody know where the spare generator is?
Over to the right.
We'll run the boats into where we want them, and then you anchor them, okay?
That's correct.
Which seems quite easy to do, but the difficulty with it is no boat stays still. And what happens is we get ourselves all lined up, and then one boat's gone in one direction, the other boat's gone in the other direction. And that's an example of the sort of thing that goes on right in the middle of the take. You'll get someone sound a foghorn, and then in the background, there'll be sightseers come round in little private boats, and then the private boat will go out, and our boat that's supposed to get the private boat out then comes into the shot, and then we have to get him out.
We just don't seem to get as much of a day's work as I would like to get.
It's hard to make the ocean do what you want it to do, you know.
The sea won't be calm when you want it to be. It'll do what it wants to do.
Some of the people are worried about sharks. I'm afraid of sharks, and we've seen a couple this morning.
The tides come in and out, and they take you away, and a mark that you had set up and the lights you had set up 5 minutes later don't work, and you have to relight and reset and go again.
So that you almost never have a boat exactly where it should be unless you try over and over again.
Cherokee shall be kept. Can anybody on the hulk hear me?
Keep moving, keep moving. We're going to lose our light. Can we keep our rig anchored by the barge? You're moving in too close to the camera booth.
All right, will somebody tell Harry we need more film magazines? Can we move the white boat, the Telly Savalas boat, in a little bit closer, please? The hulk has to go down in the water another 1.5 feet. Why can't we get those two boats together? Move the two boats together. Michael, can we get that boat out of the way? It's in the shot. Why is that boat moving in there? Get that boat out of the way.
One of the most exciting sequences in the picture is the struggle of the survivors to escape the pursuing waters.
The threat is that a section of the ship, wall, bottom, top, whatever it is, has just been torn away, and the wild churning ocean is rushing in. And that terrible flood of water is what pursues them through the whole ship. Now the water keeps on rising. The water keeps on rising, and the trick is to get out before you drown.
Okay, so that you have a passageway
Now
across
we fill
here.
this, what, about half filled with water?
Well, more
Maybe a
than
little
This will be
more.
all the way up to the top of the cement right
It
there.
will?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then what happens when it pours over, when you lower this
This will
down?
be loaded as well.
I get it.
Both sections will be loaded.
So that forces it in, and as we lower it, it fills the cell.
Okay, fourth camera, if you can somehow get down there, rake the people and see the explosion, see? But these 3 cameras should be on people. All kinds of close-ups and so on, okay? Thank you. Then we come back, change the cameras, and then it's a mad bedlam to get the hell out. Because I tell you all, you're all going to get wet. The water's going to be 2-3 feet high, and this thing is going to tilt. And now it's every man for himself kind of thing. By this time, the water is up to here. So they've got to fight through the water to get this out of the way to help you. They open the door, you'd hear the roaring sound of water. It would be very dramatic.
fun is like when the water would come rushing in the windows and things like that. You weren't sure what was going to happen. That was exciting because you weren't sure if maybe you'd get hurt, you know, or you would have to swim for it. That was fun.
And as an actor, you just really, you don't have to use your imagination too much because you're trapped. You know, it's hard.
It's all right. I hired out to be tough.
I'd love to make a million pictures like this.
I'll tell you one thing, it's the toughest shooting I've ever been involved in 25 years.
Kaleidoscope Films wishes to thank Warner Brothers for a look at the most exciting escape adventure of all time. Irwin Allen's production of Beyond the Poseidon Adventure.